Vipers Voices at the end of the second match of the tournament for the Desert Vipers at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium against the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, and it's another victory for the Vipers, so that's 2 out of 2 now. It was a close fought thing in the end though. The Abu Dhabi Knight Riders made 171 in their 20 overs. And the Desert Vipers, well, they got across the line with 4 balls to spare, but only 2 wickets in hand, and it was thrilling stuff at the back end. And the victory largely at that back end, thanks to Khuzaimah bin Tanveer, who made 24 from just 10 deliveries. An exceptional effort from him. But another man who produced an exceptional effort today was Dan Lawrence, who's alongside me for our podcast this evening. Dan, congratulations on the victory. You made 32. You also took a crucial wicket of an ex-Viper, Sherfane Rutherford. First of all, let's assess that win. How do you assess it? Because it seemed to swing one way, then the other at the back end.
Yeah, I mean, it was a funny game of cricket. I mean, there were periods of that game where it felt like we were in total control, and then there were a few periods where we felt like we were right up against it. They came at us quite hard with the ball, and we lost 3 early wickets. So we had a period of consolidation there in the middle, and then when me and Hetty were batting, we thought we had it in the bag, and then we both got out at pretty tricky times. And it was a hell of an effort from Kuzi at the end to see us over the line.
Wasn't it just? Let's go back to the beginning though, and the toss which Sam Curran won, the second time in succession the Vipers have won the toss. Once again you opted to bowl first. What was the thinking there?
I mean, the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, their batting we felt was their strength. Obviously a very powerful top 7 or top 8 batters, all played a lot of international cricket and a lot of franchise cricket. So we thought if we go out there, assess the wicket, and try and put their batters under pressure early, when there's a little bit of dew that comes in, we felt like we could chase anything later on.
I was going to ask you about the dew. Has it been that much of a factor this evening?
I wouldn't say hugely so. I've played in a few games in Dubai where it can really take an effect, but it wasn't a huge factor. It was a little bit damp, but it wasn't too bad.
Let's reflect on the way things went in that innings. They made 171 for 6, did the Knight Riders, batting first. Would you have taken that at the start? They were at one stage 100 for 1.
Absolutely. Sharjah is traditionally a very high scoring ground, and they were off to a very decent start, obviously with ex-Viper Halesey playing really well. We actually managed to squeeze the game really well in the middle. The spinners bowled especially well, and to limit such a powerful batting order to 170 was a great effort. Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned the spinners because I was going to bring it up there. D. Lawrence 1 over 1 for 2. Who came up with that idea for you to bowl at Sherfane Rutherford, and of course you got him out?
Obviously. The plan was when a left-hander came in, there was going to be a decent chance that I was going to bowl one over. So as soon as he came in, thankfully he had just walked in and he hadn't got his eye in, because obviously we all know how dangerous he is. Managed to spin a couple in my first over and get the wicket, which was a great feeling. And it was nice to bowl a good over. But I think the 2 other spinners were the stars of the show today. Noor showing his class as he always does, and Case bowled beautifully as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Case 4 overs 2 for 29. Noor 4 overs 2 for 35. That's 4 wickets for him in the tournament so far. Case on debut. So between the 3 of you, 9 overs 5 for 66. But I must say, from the sidelines, it didn't seem to turn that much.
No, there was a massive turn. It was just the surface. It was sticking in the wicket a little bit, and it was a little bit more problematic than maybe we thought it was going to be to face spin. Having batted in the second innings, it certainly was a bit different to the usual kind of Sharjah surface, and spin played a big part tonight. And it's just really nice to have two high quality wrist spinners in our team.
You must be pretty pleased with the way things went at the back end of the innings, because you've mentioned the batting power of the Knight Riders. Andre Russell was in. He ended up making 36 not out with 3 fours and 2 sixes from 23 deliveries. Alex Hales, as you mentioned, 53 from 37. But the last over went for just 5, Nazim Shah, and I think the last 5 overs cost just 46, which in the grand scheme of things is a pretty good effort.
Absolutely, and it's a huge part of the game, especially bowling to experienced death hitters. I thought everyone did a great job tonight, and it was a bit of an ugly win, but it was nice to get those sort of games over the line.
134 for 4 in the 16th over with you and Shimron at the crease. It looked, as you said, as though it should be a walk in the park at that stage. What went wrong?
Well, obviously me getting out wasn't that helpful. I think at that stage of the game, I think we were just trying to kill the game at that stage, and obviously you live and you learn. I probably would have done things a bit differently, but that's the beauty of cricket. We did really well to fight our way back into that situation. Obviously Hetty playing some really powerful shots and me just trying to anchor the innings. But I think if we were to do that again, I think I'd try and be slightly more ruthless and be there at the end.
35 from 32 balls. How did you think you played?
I thought I played well up to that point. I was just trying to assess the game situation and understood that it wasn't going to be a glamorous innings and I wasn't going to strike at 200. I just tried to anchor the game and try and take it as deep as possible, and the plan was working until me and Hetty got out, and it was only for Kuzi's heroics at the end that got us over the line. But like I said, we're not playing anywhere near our best cricket at the moment, but we're 2 from 2, so it's really promising signs.
Shimron Hetmyer, player of the match, 48 from 25 balls, 3 fours, 3 sixes, and I found it fascinating that in Sunil Narayan's last over, Narayan, their big danger bowler, I guess, he went after him, hit him for 2 successive sixes, and that really put you ahead of the game.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any such thing as respect between West Indians when they play against each other. I think Hetty always wanted to get after Narayan and Russell when they came on. So it's great viewing from the other end, watching a world-class batter face a world-class spinner. Hetty got his day today, and he played him really well, and that was a big 2 balls in the game when he hit him for 2 sixes in a row.
So 19 off the last 2 overs with Kuzema at the crease. I know we've spoken on the podcast previously about the fact that he's done a lot of work on his batting, and I think we saw that this evening, didn't we? Incredible performance, really, to win that game from the situation the Vipers found themselves in.
Yeah, we've worked out he's an absolute gem of a cricketer. His bowling obviously speaks for itself, and he started really well last year with the ball, and he's carrying that on this year. And to be honest, I didn't know he could strike a cricket ball like that, and he's really dug us out of a hole there, and pretty much single-handedly won the game on his own there. So congratulations to him, and like I said, it puts us in really good stead now.
2 from 2, as you mentioned, without necessarily playing your best cricket. You got across the line in the first game as well against the Dubai Capitals by 4 wickets. It's another victory batting second. Is batting second that significant in the tournament, even at these early stages?
I think in the evening it plays quite a big factor. I think obviously, like I said, with the dew, I think it becomes harder to bowl, and the ball seems to skid on a little bit more. I don't think it plays much of a part in the day games, but I think there's definitely a slight advantage batting second in the evening here, because you can assess the wicket and everyone can make a plan from there.
And talk to us about the next game now, which is coming up on Monday. Back to Dubai, up against the Gulf Giants, who had a really exceptional win in their first game against MI Emirates. They chased down a total in excess of 150 with plenty of time to spare. They've started well. Yeah, I mean,
every team in this competition, if you look through the names and the team sheets that are being put out, it's really world-class cricket this year, and you're going to have to play well to win any of these games. So I'm sure we're going to treat them with the same respect we've treated the other 2 teams, and do our planning and hopefully go 3 from 3.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time, Dan. So there we are. Another game for the Desert Vipers, and another victory, this time by 2 wickets. A really tight one, this one, but it's always nice to get across the line in these tight finishes. So the Vipers now have a couple of days to reflect, and then the next game is coming up on Monday. That's Monday the 8th of December, when they're back to the Dubai International Stadium, and they face the Gulf Giants, who of course beat the Vipers in the first season's final, and so that will have a little bit of needle in it as well. So we look forward to that. But yes, thanks very much to Dan, and thanks very much for listening as well.